less than 2 months left for the union budget, India Inc.'s wish list is only getting longer. Will exporters roiled by Trump's tariffs get any special attention in the upcoming budget? Will the recently notified labour code give Indian manufacturing the much-needed fillip? And what is India Inc. expecting from the RBI policy this week and also from Russian President Putin's visit? To speak about all of that and more, we're now joined by Anant Goenka, who's just taken charge as the president of industry body FICCI. Anant, many thanks for joining us here on CNBC-TV18 and congratulations on taking over as president of FICCI. To start with, Anant, let's talk about the rupee. It's great to have you on a day where we've seen the rupee move, breach that $90 mark today, Anant. What's the mood within industry? As we've been arguing here that a depreciating rupee could perhaps be good as far as competitiveness is concerned, but the extreme volatile moves that we've seen specifically in the past few days, what does industry make of it?
Right. I think, as was highlighted, largely we've let market forces determine, as RBI and the government has been mentioning. To that extent, I would say exports have become more attractive. Chinese imports may become a little bit more expensive. I think large volatility is obviously something of a concern. But overall, I would say no major impact to industry. I think it's a positive from an export point of view. And I think it's more about the RBI taking a decision whether they would like to intervene or not. And I think their decision is absolutely fine.
Well, speaking of the RBI, we've got the MPC meeting coming up. Anant, what's the expectation? Is industry hoping for a rate cut? Hope, of course, is always on the table. But do you believe that a rate cut is likely this time around, given the fact that we've seen some very strong GDP numbers come in as well?
Right. I think inflation has been under a fair amount of control, better than expected numbers. Government is gearing for growth. In light of that, from our side, we would say 0.25% basis, 25 basis points cut is very welcome. And that's what industry is rooting and hoping for.
OK, that is what industry is hoping for, another 25 basis point cut. The big development tomorrow, President Putin is going to be here in India, both sides hoping to further deepen their bilateral engagement, bilateral relationship, including economic cooperation. What's the expectation that industry has on this front?
India has always maintained its position of strategic autonomy. And to that extent, it is for us, or as industry, we are looking at strengthening our defense ties. This is something which we are already intertwined as two countries, and that is always going to continue in the longer term because of the strength between the two countries. It's a time-tested partnership that is there. We will be looking at seeing how can we supply more into Russia and vice versa. The obvious areas are engineering products, pharmaceuticals, IT, and so on. I think one concern on industry side is always going to be with respect to sanctions and that risk. But I think from an industry side, if the opportunity is there, we'd be very happy to look at Russia as a larger market to strengthen our relationship with.
You talked about sanctions, and that brings me to the issue of U.S. tariffs and the possibility of a deal with the U.S. It was the FICCI AGM where I spoke with the Commerce Secretary, and he, for the very first time, said that there are two parallel negotiations underway with the U.S. But is hope now fading for either of the two deals to go through with the U.S., one to deal with the reciprocal tariffs and the other to deal with the larger bilateral trade agreement?
I think not at all. I'm still very hopeful of a deal happening. Commerce Secretary also was fairly positive that a number of the points have been discussed. It is hopefully a matter of time, and a deal is likely to be around the corner, although you never know till last minute or till the deal is signed that it's going to happen. I think on both sides, there have been some concessions, but India has very clearly stuck on its sensitive issues, always putting the country first. So to that extent, I'm hopeful that a deal will be signed, and that will be great for whether it is the rupee and an end to the tariffs that would be very good for certain industries.
Yes, the wait continues on that front. But speaking of suspense and the wait for the budget is on. Pre-budget consultations underway. And I know that FICCI's presented its budget wish list. What are you baking in terms of expectations, the top three priorities that you believe the government must focus on, Anant?
I'd say one is Atmanirbharta. I think continued focus on investing in defense. There is a large change that is happening with respect to technology on the defense side, and we need to continue to invest on that front. We've asked for a 30% increase in capital investment on defense expenditure, a 10% increase on operating expenditure, and about a 10,000 crore outlay on DRDO related investments. The second ask is on export promotion. There has been the export promotion mission that has come about, various corporate guarantee schemes. But RoDTEP, we feel the outlay is still too small. We have recommended an increased outlay on RoDTEP. The third is the critical minerals program that has come about. On that, there is a minerals tailing recovery program that we are recommending, that use of fly ash, leftovers of the mining. How do we use technology to tap critical minerals out of the tailings? So a critical minerals program is something that we are recommending. And finally, on the electronic side, we've seen great headway and progress over the years. This is a space where we are recommending India's largest IT industrial park, where you can have the entire value chain in one place, increase the value addition, have OEMs and assemblers all together in one place, much like the model that we've seen in Shenzhen or Vietnam. I think that will further propel growth of the EMS sector.
All right, well, we'll have to wait till for the 1st of February. It's a Sunday, but let's see if the budget is going to be on the 1st of February, and all will be revealed then. Anant, Goenka, once again, wish you the very best of luck for your new innings, and thanks so much for joining us here on CNBC-TV18. That's the president of FICCI with his budget wish list and more. Time for us to head into a break, but up next, just months after getting relief from the Supreme Court, JSW Steel sells 50% stake in Bhushan Power to Japanese conglomerate JFE for over 15,700 crore rupees. That and more when we return.